died saving Central City when the particle accelerator exploded. Then he came back. Then he died again. Then he was alive on an alternate Earth. Robbie Amell. And finally, she's one of the sweetest characters in the CW Heroverse, but she keeps getting heartbroken. And on an alternate Earth, she's as cold as they come. Danielle Panabaker. Welcome to Boston.
How did you get cast on the CWverse? All of you. What was the casting process for each?
All right, well, I'll say it on 3.
Mine was pretty quick. It was like one of the first weeks in January, so that's the beginning of what they call pilot season. And I read the script, went and met with David and Andrew, and I think Greg was in the room too. And by Friday, I tested for everybody, and we were going to Vancouver. It was
Robbie?
It was great.
Luckily, I had a family connection. So my cousin, Stephen Amell, is on a small show called Arrow.
I've heard that was good.
Yeah, some people, I've heard it's okay. Steven said, Greg, if you don't cast Robbie and the Tomorrow People, I'm done. Actually, I had worked with Greg. I did one episode of Brothers and Sisters years ago. It was in their final season. I played one of the leads in a flashback, and Greg Berlanti produced it, and I actually asked Greg for a letter to help me get my green card. And he was amazing. I was like, I know we only worked together for like 3 hours, but you're a huge, powerful producer, and it would really help my green card portfolio. And then the Tomorrow People came up, and I originally auditioned for the John character, and luckily he thought I was more suited for the Steven role, and I tested for everybody and booked it. And then when they canceled that show, he was like, I'm so sorry that your show got canceled. Here, you can come play Firestorm. And I was like, sad and happy all at the same time. So Greg's become a great friend, and as everybody at this table can attest to, he's like the coolest person on the planet.
Ciara?
I actually went in for Candace's part on The Flash a long, long time ago. When I was a wee baby, just moving to New York. I kind of want to post that self-tape because it's so tragic. So obviously I didn't get it, but I think David had kind of kept me on the roster, and then when Hawkgirl came up, they brought me in. I didn't know what the character was. Like, I spent hours trying to figure out, like, from the sides, the mock sides, like, who is this character? I have no idea. And I was actually doing Hunchback of Notre Dame at the time, which is like the theater version of it. And we were finishing up, and so I was like, well, I'll try TV. Like, I've never really done it. I've done like one thing. And oddly enough, I go in for this, and then like 3 days later, I'm testing for it and got it. So yeah, it was really fast.
I slept with the producer. I'm just kidding, he's gay. I just like a normal, I got an audition and I went into the audition and it was for a character named Lisa with made up sides. I had no idea what it was all, they didn't say who it was. And then once I booked the job, which I didn't think I was going to get it, because after I auditioned, they were like, yeah, they didn't like you, you're not CW enough, like, you're not going to get it. And I was like, all right, fine, I didn't want it anyways. And then I got a call, and they're like, we need you to come in tomorrow and do a chemistry read with Stephen Amell. And I was like, what? Okay. And then I went, and then Stephen and I ran into each other at the parking lot at the chemistry read. And he was like, I'm a big fan of Mad Men, like, it was really sweet. And then I got it, and which did happen like 2 weeks later. They went back and forth for a long time, just toying with my emotions. And then they were like, okay, you got it. And then they told me what character I was going to be playing, and all that was very exciting. And then they killed me off. And they brought me back to life. And here I am.
After getting my job, Did you do any research in the comics, or did you just kind of stick to the scripts in terms of what you were working off of?
I did so much research. They actually sent me like the omnibus of Hawkgirl and like several other comics and like New 52. So since there's so many origins for Hawkgirl, I was like, I better like know a little bit about what's going on. So yeah, and I still go out to the comic stores and get them now because I'm actually kind of hooked on it. She has like very cool stories. But yeah, I did a lot of research. But I also I watched Justice League Unlimited when I was little. Yeah, which is great. It's a great version of Hawkgirl, so I was like, let me watch that again. And it popped up on Netflix literally as soon as I got cast, and I was like, I should probably go watch this. So yeah.
That's one of my favorite things to do, going into a comic book store and be like, do you have any Firestorm comics? And they're like, we do. I had the same thing though. I got a care package from DC right after booking it. I was flying to Toronto to see family, and I arrived and there was a box from DC and it had a Firestorm toy in it and a bunch of comic books. So it was like the easiest way to do research for a role.
I did not get a care package. I should write a letter. But I did a little bit of research. For me, I try and stick more to the scripts as much as I can, and then I just look at Carlos and Grant. So I'm like, so wait, who's the Mirror Master?
Yeah, it's a lot to keep up with.
It is.
I got a care package.
Did you open it?
I did, and I read it.
Cool. One of the things that's really unique about actually all four of your characters is that you've all played different versions of your character. Which, we have Sara before and after being resurrected. We have the multiple reincarnations of Kendra. We've had you as Ronnie, and then as Firestorm, and then as Darkstorm? Deathstorm. And then we've seen you as Caitlin and as Killer Frost. Is that a fun thing to do, establish this character and then play a completely different version of them?
Yes. That's the fun of the comic book world, is that stuff is constantly being reinvented and rebooted, and it was great. It was so fun.
It's also really fun to watch other people do it.
Yeah.
I mean, from the beginning of getting cast, I knew that Danielle was going to be Killer Frost, but I didn't know I would ever be Deathstorm. So season 1, they talked about it a lot, and you could see how pumped Danielle was to play Killer Frost, and then getting to be a part of that episode, not only to get to play Deathstorm, which was a ton of fun, getting to see Danielle embrace it and go full Killer Frost, get to see Carlos play Reaver.
Carlos is so good as Reaver.
Yeah, it was really fun just to watch everybody kind of flip, go bad.
Yeah, it was great.
How about Kendra?
Yeah, obviously I've had quite a few little incarnations to play with, which is nice. The one that I was a little sad that I didn't get to play, even though Anna Decker-Smith was really lovely, was the Western version. I really wanted to be Cinnamon. I really did. I wanted to be old. I wanted the makeup. Fortunately, I didn't get to do that one, but no, I think it's always a great challenge, and it's always really fun for an actor to be able to play kind of opposite poles of something. So it's always been really fun, especially with Falk. We get to just live in these different time periods all the time. It's cool.
The Egyptian one was super cool. I think that's still one of my favorites.
I think the most different is playing young Sara. When I'm playing the younger version and I have those clip-on bangs. And her on the island, just because before pre-Black Canary, she's totally different. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I hope to keep playing different versions all the time.
Which brings us to Flashpoint.
Oh.
Which I think you guys are all familiar with Flashpoint. So at the end of the last season, Grant, it has the Flash made a very big change in his own history, which will have ramifications throughout, I guess, all the shows of this initially.
Sure.
Okay.
If you say so. I have not seen any Arrow Legends scripts to know how much of it.
I mean, I don't know what that is, if that helps. Give a spoiler.
Don't worry.
I think I know a little bit. Mom, I know that much.
Yeah.
Which means, are there any chance that Ciara or Robbie will make some appearances?
That was my pitch from the beginning.
Danielle and I both send emails. We're like, hey, so...
Happily married?
Like, I don't even need powers. Like, just bring me back. I'll hang out for a few episodes. I'll be Ronnie. Let me play Ronnie. You can stop laughing. I'm not in the first few episodes. I would love to go back. I always love going back. They're like family. It's also a ton of the crew from the Tomorrow People, because of when the Tomorrow People got canceled and when the Flash got picked up. So much of the crew just went over. So it's like, you know, it's just it's like seeing family and a lot of friends. So I will go back whenever they will have me, but so far I have not shot anything in Vancouver this season.
You also have done...
Fingers crossed.
One of the things that's really remarkable about this whole universe that's been created is that there's a lot of cross-pollination in terms of... It's a very fluid thing where characters appear on one show or the other. And you've all appeared on other shows. Has there been, does each show have a different kind of tone in terms of the set?
Yeah.
I mean, totally. My introduction into this universe was working on all 3 shows at one time. So like, yeah, I kind of like got to contrast them like right next to each other. I would say like, I think
Flash is the best.
The Flash, honestly, the Flash was just so fun. Like, you guys have so much fun, and it was like such a like lovely family, and I really love that. I think with Arrow, like, I think you feel like everyone's a badass on that show. Like, you just like walk in, you're like, this is definitely superheroes. Like, you can tell. And then obviously with Legends, like, we created our own little family, and it was nice because I was like not. I mean, I was kind of a newbie, but like at least we were all kind of starting from square one together. So that was like just so different, moving back and forth between the 3 shows.
Caity, Sarah's journey has been kind of rough last year, especially with the death of Laurel, and you know she was getting close with Snart, and he died. Will you have a happier journey this season?
I don't know. I hope so.
Is anyone ever happy on these shows for too long?
I don't know. I mean, Sara, I can't spoil anything.
We're not going to tell you.
I don't believe you. So thus far, yeah. And I know you guys probably have all heard that we have the Legion of Doom that we're going to be dealing with, which includes a Damien Dark and a Malcolm Merlin. So hopefully Sarah's going to get some sweet, sweet revenge.
Ciara, do you have any plans, or have they talked to you all about possibly coming back in any capacity?
Nope. I think for now the Hawks we flew off and we're doing our own thing.
They're lucky. They're living happily ever after.
Happily ever after, for finally. But I mean, obviously there are a lot of little nuggets that could, I think, very easily bring the Hawks back. The Nigerian nugget and just a lot of other, like the Justice League nugget, obviously. So I don't
know. Agent Miller.
Yes.
Will we possibly see you in the X-Files again?
I actually asked Jillian, because I was like, hey, what's going on? I know as much as you guys do. They want to do more episodes. Last year, the show was incredibly successful. It was one of the most successful series on Fox in the last decade. Fox wants more episodes. Chris Carter wanted a movie, and I think that they have met in the middle with another limited series next year. I've heard between 6 and 10 episodes. All I know is that they're working on David and Jillian first because they're Mulder and Scully. Hopefully, I'm coming back, but people like to kill me, so.
Oh, the cliffhangers.
I am, yeah. Based on the last episode, I should be involved, but that really doesn't mean
They
anything.
kill you as soon as we begin.
But I had a lot of fun. Jillian is a sweetheart. David is like the coolest dude I've ever met. He just oozes cool. He's just walking around, you're like, that guy's cool. He's super cool. Plus he's like a TV legend. I mean, X-Files for, what was it, 10 seasons, and Californication for 6 or 7 seasons. The guy's got, 2 decades of TV under his belt. So I hope to go back, but I know as much as you guys do.
And then the other question I have for you is, can you tell us a little about your project Code 8?
Sure. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Steven and I have wanted to work together for a long time. My cousin on that small show with Archer. So we wanted to work together for a long time, and we got a small taste of it on the crossover at the end of season 1 of The Flash, but we didn't actually say any words to each other. So one of our good friends, Jeff Chan, who again I've wanted to work with for a long time, we decided to make our own short film and try and launch a feature film. So if you go to code8.com, it'll redirect you to the Indiegogo page, which is currently closed. But you can watch the short film. It's 10 minutes. We raised $1.7 million on Indiegogo, which is incredible. I mean, the applause is for all the fans that really showed up, because we set the bar at $200,000. So that was like, it was really overwhelming, and means the world to me. But it also means the movie's going to be way bigger. So it looks like we have a budget. It hasn't been finalized, but of between $8 and $12 million, shooting in Toronto. We have the same visual effects company that did the short film, who are incredible, working at a rate that we would never get if they weren't great friends. So it's our plan is to make a movie that feels like District 9 in scale, but is a very grounded sci-fi movie. There's not going to be any Magnetos levitating stadiums. It's going to be a character piece. We're going to shoot May, June, July, because that's, as some of you know, Steven's off season. Steven's got an awesome role in it. He couldn't be in the short film because of date conflicts with the Turtles. But it's gonna be awesome. We're really, really excited about it, and I think you guys are gonna freak out.
Danielle,
I think I'm available next month.
That's the other
Check my
thing.
schedule.
The off seasons all line up, so we want friends to be involved.
we're going to a Flashpoint. We've also got a new series coming to the CW with Supergirl. They just announced a musical crossover.
Yes,
So the question is, I know that Carlos sings,
yes, Carlos is incredible.
and
I told Greg,
Jesse sings.
yeah. I was like, Carlos should write music.
Are you going to be singing and dancing?
Oh gosh, no. Somebody asked me that on Twitter, and I was like, guys, we saw that season 1. It didn't go so well.
Caity and Nate, you guys both did some science fiction movies. Time lapse.
So,
Well, I'm saying, is this a genre? No, my question is this a genre that you guys gravitate towards, or do you just find yourself being cast in the?
I love sci-fi. I grew up watching sci-fi with my dad, so it's been like definitely one of my favorite genres. I remember when we watched remember that Taken? It was like a mini-series or something. We watched that with my dad, and we watched X-Files together all the time. So sci-fi is something I grew up with, and so I definitely gear toward it. I have a movie called The Machine you shall go watch. It's cool sci-fi.
it's fun. I mean, it's that element of escapism. Like when you watch something, it's not, as an audience member, you want to be sucked into this alternate universe and like this different world where these crazy things can happen and exist. So I really
Like
enjoy it.
Superhero High.
Yeah, Sky High.
So I guess another question I have for you guys is, if you had the opportunity to guest star in any other series that's currently on TV, what would you be interested in?
Game of Thrones.
That used to be my answer, but I'm so invested in Game of Thrones that I don't want to see behind the curtain. I don't want to ruin it. It's my favorite show on TV. I want to keep it that way. I also don't know where I would fit into Game of Thrones.
I don't think I'd fit in either, but like, I'll get an accent. I want to be like Khaleesi's evil sisters. Girlfriend, I don't know.
I definitely would love to be on Game of Thrones, but again, I don't know where I fit in that either. But I was also just thinking, Mr. Robot.
So good.
It is so freaking good. Or Stranger Things. I just finished that,
Things is
and it like blew my mind.
If you guys haven't seen Stranger Things, it's after you've seen all of the CW shows
And all your spare
and
time.
X-Files, just dip into Stranger Things on Netflix.
I mean, The Big Bang Theory is my favorite show.
Okay.
I make flash jokes all the time that makes me really happy.
Well, that's a WB show. Shouldn't you, or Warner Brothers production? Shouldn't they say absolutely come over?
I mean, we shoot twice as long as they do. Their seasons are so short in comparison.
The other thing I wanted to ask is, I'm blank. Sorry. I went through my questions pretty quickly.
Have you seen Stranger Things?
I have seen Stranger Things.
It's so good. Watch it. If you like the Goonies or E.T. or anything.
Has everybody seen Stranger Things?
I have not. I'm worried it's going to give me nightmares.
No.
Oh no.
No, you'll be.
No.
So what's your take on the end? Is Hopper aware of where 11 is? That's not a spoiler.
Hopper's the best character in the entire thing, next to the girl. 11 and then Hopper. Like, I kind of have a crush on Hopper.
This was my question. Now I remember what it was. You guys all have long careers. You work with a lot of people. Are you able to divorce that when you watch something? Like, if you know cast members, are you able to enjoy something and not say, oh, look, they're like, are you able to watch Arrow and say, oh, look, Steven? He's my cousin.
It's tough not to see Steve, but that doesn't mean I can't enjoy it. I really, I really like supporting and enjoying my friends' work. I watch The Flash when I'm not on it. I watched Legends of Tomorrow, which was a little tougher because I'm watching a character that I've played before. But I like Franz a lot. He's awesome. I love Victor Garber. I love the rest of the cast. I really enjoy watching projects that my friends are in. And even if I don't like the project, I'm still going to watch it anyway because they're friends. But most of the time, I really enjoy it.
I think the Duff was more fun when I watched it. It was so, because there was so, like, a lot of you and the goofiness and the silliness of it. Like, I think I enjoyed it more.
It is fun to see your friends bring, a little bit of themselves to it. And the opposite, it's nice to see people you know doing something that is completely out of character. It just adds another level of kind of interest.
And how about watching yourselves? Do you enjoy that?
I like to see myself once, just to see how things, like what I did, if I liked it, if I hated it, and then that's it. But unfortunately, like for The Duff, for example, we did a bunch of fan screenings, so I've seen that movie like 14 times, and I just can't do it anymore.
I feel like I'm a bit of a glutton for pain because I definitely watch, I think, everything that I do, and then I literally sit and like take notes and like rip it apart. But that's like, for me, honestly though, that it's like always been the best learning tool for me because I'm a very visual learner. So if I can see, especially in this medium, which is so new for me, like if I can see, oh, that face does not work on screen, like it works on
Why did I do that?
But no, I really do. I sit and I say, oh, okay, well, maybe we could try something more like that next time. And then I get to do something better next time.
Is that her watching herself? Like, obsessed with herself. It's weird because then if you just, I don't know, because if I start thinking about it and watching it, then I'm like, oh, my voice, and this and that, and so I kind of just usually don't watch stuff Like Robbie, like maybe I'll see it once. Like I won't seek it out, but like if it's there, like I'll watch it once. But yeah, I mostly don't watch.
I went to the Rango premiere when I was on a Nickelodeon show, and I had heard that Johnny Depp doesn't watch himself, like he will not see his own movies. But I was like, this is an animated movie, maybe he'll watch it. So he was up front and he gave like a speech, and my fiance and I were sitting in the worst seats in the house. We were like front row, farthest corner except for one seat on the end, and Johnny Depp gives a speech and then walks over and he's standing right here, and I'm like, maybe this is his seat. I'm like, Johnny, we saved you a seat. And he goes, don't watch my own movies. Starts moving. I'm like, shit.
Okay, we're going to do some audience fan questions. If you're interested, you can actually line up right over there.
I think Katrina, because her lips were like really soft. And I don't know, for some reason, like kissing Steven just felt weird. Like, I like it was like my brother or something. And then we'd be like having scenes or like in bed or something, and he's like sticking, like giving me wet willies, and just like, you're the worst. But I heard him, he's great. So Katrina wins on the kiss.
Thank you.
So since you all shoot in Vancouver, is there like any hijinks that everyone just gets up to together?
Hijinks?
We don't even have time. You shoot, I mean, most of the time it's like Monday to Friday, 12 to 15-hour days every day, and Fridays normally go until about 4 in the morning on Saturday. They call them Fraturdays. So normally if you're gonna do anything, it's gonna be like Saturday night dinner and drinks. But I haven't been there for a while, so maybe things have changed.
No, I think our cast, at least, everyone always ends up at Jesse's. There's always alcohol.
I think you guys need to hang out with friends a little bit more if you want hijinks.
I disagree, actually.
Firestorm parties.
Parties. If you want hijinks in a night you don't remember, go with friends.
Can't keep up.
Yeah, it's hard for us to get together, but we try to. We're trying to do it more and more. I'm living with Katie Cassidy right now, so it's like, I see her all the time. We always hang out. Thank you.
Hi, do you think your characters would survive a Marvel crossover?
I think we would annihilate every single one of the characters.
I can't survive a DC crossover.
Okay, so many questions. So you all have done work with like time travel and with the multiverse, like that sort of stuff, and with obviously with Flashpoint coming up. What would you do if the Doctor, instead of one of his companions, showed up on your front door with a time machine? As your characters.
As our characters. Oh.
I feel like Hawkgirl would be like, no thanks. Been there, done that.
Maybe Caitlin would go back. Try and not have so many failed relationships.
I feel like I would take the time machine, give it to someone I trust, and be like, hey, next time I die.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hi. So I was wondering if you could give us any spoilers that we don't know already.
Never.
Do you have another question?
There's like 700 people in here.
Yeah.
Caitlin Snow becomes a lesbian.
Not a bad idea. She might have more success with women.
Starts dating Sarah Lynn.
Thank you for the spoiler. If you could be any superhero in any universe, who would you be besides what you've already been?
Batman.
Batman. But not Batgirl. Batman.
Wonder Woman.
I met someone yesterday. All right, if you guys don't have to help me. She was dressed as a female magician. Tell me the name. Zatanna. I liked her. I gotta find out more about her.
Thanks. Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're cool.
We actually have a question from one of our hearing impaired.
Oh.
Hi, I was wondering what you guys think of ASL. Would you be interested in learning American Sign Language?
100%.
I did, in first grade, we did a song in sign language. It was great, and I don't remember any of it. Other than there was this.
Yeah.
What song would it have been?
America's Beautiful.
Look at her face.
She's like, no, guys, you're doing it wrong.
That could be.
America's Beautiful.
I actually took a course in college on ASL, and it was taught by a hearing impaired man, and he had been hearing impaired his whole life, and so he had to learn how to speak through like some methods where they kind of put their fingers in their mouths and kind of teach them how to move, which was very interesting. I loved hearing his story, and I loved learning it. I think my favorite is, I think this is like potato, maybe? Is that right? Or fork, maybe? Or potato?
It is. No, the fork is the other way, but you're right. The first one was potato.
Potato, okay, cool. No, I think it's great. That's awesome.
And part two of my question is,
My mom.
Do you
I
love
love you.
your deaf audience and deaf people and deaf kids?
Of course.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I think that's very cool. That's it, right? Cool. And what else do I know?
Oh.
I do it right? I want to learn more. Maybe you can teach me.
Thank you very much.
Hey guys, I'm John. I'm actually with Geeks Out. We promote LGBT awareness and acceptance among the geek community. And I have a gift for the females. I didn't bring a t-shirt for you, Robbie.
Sorry about it, Robbie.
I love that.
That's
Thank you.
sexist. I didn't expect that from you. Thank you.
Yeah. Lady power.
He didn't ask a question, so I'm going to ask two.
Actually,
this is a question for Danielle. Can you talk about your background in horror, and maybe specifically working with John Carpenter?
Sure. It was great. I took that movie. At that point, I'd already done a couple of horror movies, and I took that movie just to get to work with him, which was awesome. He's so confident and, like, on set, super mellow. He knows what he wants, and he moves on when he gets it, and it was great. And I think he scored that movie too. He and his son are so musically talented as well. It's awesome.
Wait. So you'd be afraid to watch Stranger Things because it might get, but you've done horror films? Like, I would never get through a horror film. I'd have an anxiety attack.
There are horror movies that I've been in that I have not seen.
Oh.
I'm such a scaredy cat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My question is for Caity Lotz, and what differences we can expect from season 1 Sara to season 2?
I think that she kind of gets a little bit more responsibility. I think Sarah's just been trying to be a lone wolf and like wants to do whatever she's doing. And I think she gets a little bit more focused and driven this season. I think she has a lot more fun this season. It's, you know, so much of last season and Arrow has been about feeling bad for who she is and what she's gone through, and I think this year she's done feeling bad about who she is. So that, and, you know, I think that there's like, since Laurel's death, everything has kind of changed for her too, so, and hopefully we keep getting to dive into that for this season.
That's cool. Can I have another one? If you could play any role in a classic film, what would it be?
In a classic film? Maybe I'd want to be like, I'd want to play like one of Marilyn Monroe's, like, even though that's like the last role someone would ever give me, because I'm definitely not like that, but I think she's just so cute and fantastic, and some of those classic films I think would be really fun.
Oh, that's awesome to know. Thank you.
Thanks.
Top Gun.
Oh.
Hi, my name is Ron. I have a question for any or all of you. I know you've done all kinds of fight scenes, and I know they're very well choreographed. Having done them, do you find that perhaps you're now better at self-defense than you were in the past, or are you better dancers?
No, we're great at fake fighting. If you need somebody to punch like 6 inches away from your face, we're awesome.
No, it does give you more confidence, because like you feel like, wow, I am amazing, because she'll just be like, people are flying across the room and like, and then you're like, wow, I'm so strong. But then it's like, I think if it came into real life, you would get hit once and be like, ow, that hurt.
Yeah, I actually started sparring after we finished up season 1, and you know, like we said, we always kind of punch here and here, not right here. So the first time I got punched, and then the first time I had to punch someone in the face was really hard. I like punched them, and then immediately screamed and like was like, "No, I'm so sorry." Oh God. So yeah, I don't know that it made me any better.
I don't get to do enough fighting.
All right, thank you.
We have time for just, we'll take you, sir, and the man in black behind you.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, guys. Come see us.
My name's Jack. My 2 questions I have is, one, since Supergirl's gonna start coming to CW, how do you think that's going to affect Legends of Tomorrow towards that? Because I'm assuming Flashpoint and Legends of Tomorrow, since they heavily talk about the time line, if that's gonna like really affect. I know it'll affect Flash, but will it affect Legends of Tomorrow as well?
I don't know. I feel like it has to at some little bit, right?
I think the way they set it up is that Supergirl is on, and correct me if I'm wrong or if someone else out here is a better expert than I am, but they've set it up that Supergirl's like on a different Earth. So it's a different, you know, it's like Earth 14 or whatever in Flash speak. So I think it's not, I don't think that they're affected in the same way.
And they've already established that there's no Firestorm.
Hey, maybe Ronnie Raymond is
there might be a Ronnie
out there and has potential.
There's no Firestorm.
And my last question is, since you guys are seriously one of my favorite actors, all of you, is there any possible chance that I could get like a picture?
Good news! We have an announcement. We're doing a group photo at 12:45, all 4 of us.
Yeah. Wherever the photo ops are, you
Glad you asked that.
Yeah, people asked for it, so Boston Comic Con hooked it up, and you guys can just go.
Great, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
And the final question from the man in black.
What has been a favorite scene for each of you guys to shoot and the different series?
I think for me, it's always the most fun sort of at the end of the seasons when everybody is all in one scene. Like that stuff we shot for the finale, the race against Zoom, was actually excruciating to shoot. Like it was an awful location. We were all in gas masks and hazard hats and whatever, but it was really fun because that's one of the few opportunities all 10 of us get to be together. Same with the crossovers, you know, the end of season 1, 2 with you and Victor.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The end of those are the most fun for me.
The big episodes are straining, but they're definitely the most fun and definitely the episodes that stand out for me most memorable.
I would say on Legends, one of my favorite scenes was with Caity on the Western episode when we were on the horses. It was just so much, I just loved being able to ride a horse. I mean, that whole shoot was like really miserable because it was like raining all the time and we were just like falling in the mud. But
Vancouver?
But it was actually like really fun to be able to ride horses. And then I want to say like anything, my favorite scenes on The Flash were always like ones where I got to work with just Carlos, because he was just
the best.
He's the best like improver, and like he's always like pushing the scene to the next level, which is so fun. So yeah.
My favorite, I think, was the finale for Arrow season 2, when we got to do the giant fight against the Deathstroke army in like Team Arrow.
Did they take over the bridge?
Yeah, underneath the bridge, and it was just like we really had like 2 giant armies of like people, and just like, you know, and we're like start walking, and Steven's like, wait for it, run, and like all of us, and you just start like going to a clash, and that was really exciting. That whole episode was cool because we had like when the freighter gets hit by a torpedo, and like, because we just flooded the set, like they actually had to flood the set, and then we're like almost like swimming in it, and there's like a waterfall that I'm getting splashed on and sucked out of there, and that was fun.
My jobs were pretty cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. See you later.
Thanks, guys. Hey, everybody. Before you all take off, can you please all hold on for 2 seconds so we can let them go to their